Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Tony Plays The Binding of Isaac. Hope everyone's doing good, everyone's chilling, going about their day nice and lovely, you know how it is. Today, I have decided we should tackle a character that I know we haven't touched in a long time due to certain uncertain reasons, but I don't know why. I'm feeling optimistic, I guess, would be maybe the correct term. I'm on a 3-win streak, which is decent. Now it doesn't matter considering I've already started this run. So like, either we end with a 4-win streak or I die, you know? Like, there's no in between now. And it's leaning a lot towards I just die, because this character is hard as hell to play. Anyways, though, hope you guys are doing well. You know, you guys are enjoying your weekend or what, or enjoyed your weekend. I always gotta forget that these episodes come out one day later. Hope y'all enjoyed your weekend, you know. Mine was pretty solid, pretty alright. Only downside I would really have to say to this whole weekend is had an issue during recording yesterday. Actually, I wasn't able to talk about it too much because I was already at the end of the recording when I had to go step out. But parents were replacing the faucet in the sink, or the faucet in the sink downstairs in the kitchen, and we didn't have a certain item to like get rid of this one nut that was holding the sink in the or was holding the faucet in the sink. And so we spent like a really long time trying to figure that out, and then eventually it was just kind of like, yeah, my dad will just like kind of call someone he knows, see what's up, and then they was like, yeah, you actually need this if you want to do that. And I was like, in my mind I was like, oh come on bro, what are we doing, you know? I was like, we couldn't have just done this beforehand, you feel me? You know what I mean? No disrespect, no disrespect. But I'm just like, you couldn't have called this guy before. I ended up spending like an hour and a half doing a whole bunch of a fruitless endeavor, literally. I don't know, just a thought, you feel me? Just a little thought I had in my brain, you know what I mean? You guys picking up what I'm putting down, am I right, fellas? Oh wow, nothing. That's unfortunate. But anyways, all turned out good, you know, new sink. It's really nice. Or new faucet. It's very nice. You know what? Yeah, because it gives me more bombs. Nope. I'll pass. I'll actually pass on that now. I wanted the curse, man. I wanted the stupid dumb curse removal. Maybe if we get lucky. Alright, let's risk it. Why not? We have 4 bombs. There it is. See, that's what I needed, baby. Because we need curse immunity. Curse immunity is so good. Anyways, yeah, I had to deal with just a whole bunch. And not unfortunate, but I did have to go step out. I did say I was gonna go somewhere later in the day, but pretty much in the middle of recording, had to go step out to deal with that, and then, you know, had to go step out to deal with that. And then after I finished, I only had like about like 10 minutes. We had some downtime while my dad was like making the call or whatever. That's when I was able to actually come back and finish up the recording. But after everything, you know, after it was kind of to the point where it was like, all right, there's nothing for us to really do, now we just wait, I had to go get ready so I can go drive over to this place I was gonna be at, and it's just like, man, you know what I mean, bro? It's just like, man, whole day gone. Whole day just gone, bro. Come on. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Guppy's Eye is really good, and then give me Book of Belial, 100%. Alright, not bad, fellas. Decent start. You know, somewhat decent. I need to save bombs, so let's stop using them for a bit. Okay. But yeah, after I came back home at like what 8:39, and then from there I just from there I beat the Zombies Easter egg. Actually, we finished Black Ops 6 Zombies Easter egg, and oh my god. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, look, all right, I'm gonna say this right now. Major story spoilers ahead, okay? If anyone here even cares a little bit about Black Ops 6's story, then major story spoilers ahead. But I feel, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not indifferent. I don't know how to feel about that Easter egg ending. Because on the one hand, I'm excited to have the old crew back, you know? But on the other hand, it's kind of like, how do you exist? If you care about the zombie storyline, at the end of the Black Ops 4 story, at the end of Tag der Toten, they essentially go through everything in order to be able to use this Agarthan device to wipe themselves out from every timeline, sort of. Every, like, universe, multiverse, dimension, whatever. In order for Sam and Eddie to have, like, a nice and normal life, you know what I mean? For them to have a nice and normal life as just normal, regular people. However, for some reason, they've been brought back. And it's like, something don't seem right, you feel me? Now, why does that matter so much, or like, who really cares? The dealio comes from the fact that the characters, they made an action where they like literally wiped themselves out from the different dimensions or timelines or whatever. So they shouldn't exist, you know what I mean? Like, these characters shouldn't technically exist anymore, because their action they took was meant to keep them out, or something like that. However, now, guess what? They're back. And they're, I wouldn't say normal, but they're back. And they look to be like almost exactly like their old self. Takeo looked a little bit different, but for the most part, it's like, bro, that's y'all. You know what I mean? It's like, that's you guys. So it's kind of got me confused, you know what I mean? It's kind of got me just a little bit confused, because it's like, how'd y'all do that? How are y'all alive? Because storyline wise, I don't think you guys should exist. Now, I will say, maybe I'm just interpreting the story wrong, because that's what everyone says. Everyone says, like, the whole thing is that they killed themselves to remove themselves from the timelines or whatever. But how does Eddie still exist? Because Eddie is just a young Edward Richtofen, you know? So it's like, what's the dealio, brother? Are we just lying right now, or what's good? I don't know, you know? I don't know. What I do know for a fact, though, is I'm excited. I hope they do the characters well. you know? And I will definitely address the somewhat elephant in the room that comes with that is like, isn't this, I feel like we're retconning the BO4 ending. And I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think, I didn't think many people would have such a problem with that. Considering the BO4 ending was hated by almost everyone on, like when it happened. I'm gonna be so real with you. Oh, what the hell? Like I ain't even just joking, you know? Like this is 100% like you could go back and look at everyone's reaction is that people hated the BO4 ending, dog. They thought it was like garbage. One, they didn't have the courtesy to give the game a proper ending cutscene. They gave them a slideshow, you know? The game got a slideshow as like their final end all. So that's like, that sucks, you know? Didn't even get like a proper cutscene. They got like art, slideshow, PowerPoint. But two, I thought people absolutely hated how rushed and like low-key kind of forced it was, because initially there was supposed to be a Great War map that's supposed to, you know, take place with this whole phenomena of the Great War that the entire story was kind of leading up to. But because it was like, all right, wrap it up, fellas, this game is garbage, you know? Because Activision was like, wrap it up, Sledgehammer needs y'all, because they don't know how to make a good game. It was just like, okay, there goes the plans that we had, you know, hoped for, / they had been creating. Oh man, I hate you. You're such a garbage character. You know what I mean though? It's like, there goes all the plans that have been put into motion since like low-key day one. So they're just like, all right, we wanted to wrap up the story, but we couldn't tell the whole deal. Let's just wrap it up real quick. It's just all the characters realize that they need to die in order for the universe to be normal. So let's boom, and then they're done, you know? And I'm be real with you. It's like, it's got me kind of like, why? Why? And I will not back down in sharing my opinion. I think it's a bad ending. I'll be real with you. Just straight up, I think it's a bad ending. I don't mind if it got retconned. The only unfortunate, I guess, circumstance or whatever is, how are they gonna explain that it got retconned? You know what I mean? If they do end up retconning it, or no, because it is a retcon. Literally, it is a retcon. It's just, how are they gonna explain what happened? It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. When did I lose my holy card? Am I dumb? This run is over, bro. Lil bro, the run is already done for. Why are we still playing? But it's just like, I don't know, man, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm low-key very surprised. I'm not even joking. I'm very surprised to say that I was not expecting this sort of reaction coming from, what's it called? The Zombies community. I didn't think there would be defenders out there that are like, oh, you know. Because there's this one meme image, I think it's really funny. I'm not gonna lie. I think this image is really funny. But it's like, hey, remember everything that happened at the end of BO4? Let's retcon that. You know, hey guys, we're back or whatever. And it's like, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's funny. I think it's very funny because it's like, haha, you know, a little joke. But also, I'm surprised people are genuinely, I don't know. I don't know, you know what I mean? it's kind of just got me like, what's it called? Let me see if I can find the image, bro. That's why I'm walking so slow. My bad. You know, hold on. Let's pause real quick. Let's pause real quick. Hold on. I don't know, bro. I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't find it. Which is like, I don't know. And you really could argue that it's kind of, maybe it was planned from the start for the entire crew to just kind of off themselves in order to have the universe be normal or whatever. But it's like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be real with you. You know, you could argue it was planned from the start. Maybe that's why you had the thing like, I don't even know. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even know. Am I able to co-sign this sort of deal? You know, because it's like, you could argue, oh, Richtofen been known from the start, you know? The whole reason that Richtofen could be upset at the beginning of the Blood of the Dead cutscene is because of some weird timeline shenanigan. No, because even then, that's not the same case here. Because look, okay, alright, I'm gonna start nerding out on the Black Ops Zombie story. Where is my holy card? Oh, this is not a new floor. I'm stupid. I thought this was a new run, and I was like, bro, where's my holy card? I thought I spawned in with one of these. That's how bland I am. That's how generic Tainted Lost is right now. This run is giving me garbage. Is that I thought I was just on floor 1 still, with no items. I'm gonna nerd out on the story for a little bit, but the whole reason that Richtofen gets upset at the beginning of the Blood of the Dead cutscene is because of the fact where it's like, hey, you guys were late due to like some weird timeline shenanigans, aka the cycle has been broken, and so it has, you know, mixed up some sort of things. The timeline has been broken, or the cycle has been broken with Weasel and the whatever crew, the mob crew. So it caused some, like, you know, some retroactive changing of different events because the cycle is now broken, thus causing the Chronorium to change. Richtofen, whose whole goal was to simply grab the blood from the Victus crew, was then met with another Richtofen and is like, hey, read the Chronorium, you know, you're gonna need this, bro, because some shit has changed. And so he reads it and he's like, no, this can't be. And it's because, not because he realizes, oh, we have to make our giant sacrifice or whatever as a group, but because we need to, because you are gonna need your blood to get out of here. You know, that was my thought process. Is the reason Mr. Richtofen is upset is because he has read that he is not gonna live. He's pretty much literally got a copy of his own death certificate and is like, hey, this book that is like transpires all events in history or whatever, it's telling you you're gonna die. So you better prepare for that, or you better be the one to do it. And it's just like, you feel me? It's kind of like, damn, okay, hold up. There's some real implications here. And then at the very end, he does do the job that he was kind of like sent there to do. He's like, all right, motherfucker, you want a piece of me? You'll get a piece of me. You want my blood? Take mine blood. And so he ends up being drained, and that's where you get the whole, you know, I was the nicest one to them or whatever. So it's like, okay, after that, after those series of events, because now this Richtofen has passed on, this Richtofen has died in sacrificing himself. Very emotional, very saddening. The Chronorium is now gifted to Nikolai. And it's gifted specifically to Nikolai because he is the only one that has a soul left. As far as I am aware, the only reason I could see the sacrifice happening to begin with, sort of, is because it was given to Nikolai, and Nikolai has a soul, so Nikolai would be the only one with the, like, conscience, I guess you would call it, to still be able to make the choice of killing himself and sacrificing himself. Does that, I don't know, because does that necessarily, how do souls work, you know what I mean? How do souls work? Like, if you lose your soul, are you just like you just become like a selfish bastard or whatever? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. You feel me? Like, I don't know. It's, I don't want to say it's confusing because I don't think it's that confusing. It's more so what's established here. You feel me? That's kind of what it is to me. It's like what's established here. So that's why I could see, you know, maybe that's why they gave the Chronorium to Nikolai, is because at that point in the story, this was post Zetsubo, so they had already taken not Nikolai, they'd already taken Dempsey's, and they've already taken the Chaos. And at the very beginning, they also, what's the word I'm thinking of? For the giant, they got, you know, Richtofen's soul. And so, if I remember correctly, you know, then it's kind of like, okay, after we got everyone's souls, we're gonna go. That's the thing, is that they're not even, how does that work? Did they already give the kids, you know? Weird to say. Because they only took the soul of what? Their future counterpart, you know what I mean? It's not like they lost their own. I don't know, man. This storyline. It makes me feel things. Okay, so, all right. I'm trying to like establish the story as I go here. So, the gang go to get their souls, mainly sort of for the sole purpose of they need their souls in order to transfer it to the kids at the house in order for them to live on, sort of, you know. You picking up what I'm putting down here? Maybe not. So the reason that they go and do those other maps and kill like their alternate universe self or whatever is so that they can get these souls and give it to the children, not giving up their own souls in the process. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking, right? That's what I'm thinking. Is they don't give up their own souls in the process. They're instead giving up these older souls. Or maybe these guys are like inherently soulless. I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know. I'm not the guy to make that call. Ace of clubs. But what I will say is, for a fact, that I don't even know, man. I don't even know, bro. This game's timeline, this game's story confused. Okay, all right. Let's. Regardless, the reason that it's given to Nikolai, the Chronorium's given to Nikolai, is because he, I think, one might be like the, weirdly enough to say, considering like Ultimus Richtofen, but Primus Richtofen might, Ultimus Nikolai. Primus Nikolai might be like the best person, quote unquote, best quote unquote person, you know what I mean? Like as a whole out of the group. So maybe he'd be the one that had the balls to pull the trigger and kill them all. But then it's got me sort of confused about Alpha Omega as the resident Alpha Omega hater. Oh my god. As resident Alpha Omega hater, not even hater, but just like storyline non-understander, you know what I mean? It's kind of just got me like, all right, what's the dealio here, bro? Because I don't know, you know what I mean? It's kind of just got me curious. What was the point of Alpha Omega? What did they gain from going to this facility? I think it's like the Hanford facility is the name. What did they gain from going there? You know what I mean? Damn it. Oh my god. Oh my god. How am I alive? That's... Hold up. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Don't complain. Just do what needs to be done or whatever. There we go. Oh, I needed that key real bad. I'm actually stupid. No, that's really good, man. I wish I had this with, what's it called? My god, oh my god, oh my god, how am I alive? Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day and or good night. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.